It started with a silence so loud it felt like it might break the room, and if you stay with this story until the very end, you'll understand why that silence became the most beautiful sound of her life. She sat at the small corner table of the cafe, fingers wrapped tightly around a mug she didn't really need, watching people laugh with mouths open wide, words spilling out like warm light she could never step into. Christmas decorations hung everywhere, twinkling lights, red ribbons, fake snow clinging to windows, but none of it reached her. For Lily, the world had always been quieter, and tonight it felt colder than ever. She was deaf, had been since birth, and this blind date was supposed to be a small act of courage, a promise to herself that she would not let fear decide her life. She had met him online, clearly stating she was deaf, clearly explaining how she communicated. He had said it was no problem at all. People always said that, until it was a problem. When he arrived, late and already annoyed, Lily stood and smiled politely, signing hello while also speaking softly, the way she had been taught to help hearing people feel comfortable. He stared for a moment too long, then glanced around the cafe, embarrassment flashing across his face. He tried to speak to her, fast, impatient, not bothering to face her so she could read his lips. She gestured for her phone, typing carefully, kindly, apologetically, habits learned from a lifetime of being the one who had to adjust. He sighed, rubbed his forehead, and after barely 10 minutes, stood up. His words were quick and sharp, but she caught enough from his lips to understand. This is too much work. I thought it would be easier. He didn't wait for her response. He grabbed his coat and walked out, bells on the door jingling cheerfully, cruelly. Lily didn't cry at first. She just sat there, staring at the empty chair, feeling every familiar thought rush back in. Too complicated. Too different. Too much effort. She paid for her untouched drink and stepped outside into the cold December air, where snowflakes fell silently, at least silently to her, and wondered why she kept trying. She stood there, alone under glowing Christmas lights, telling herself she was used to rejection, that it shouldn't hurt this much anymore. But it did. It always did. She didn't notice the two small figures watching her from across the street. Twin girls, maybe 6 or 7 years old, bundled in matching red coats and wool hats, their eyes bright and curious. They tugged at their mother's hands, whispering excitedly, pointing at Lily. Their mother shook her head gently, trying to keep them moving, but the girls broke free and ran toward Lily before she could stop them. Lily looked down, startled, as the twins stopped in front of her, grinning like they had just discovered a secret. Then, something happened that made Lily's breath catch. The girls lifted their hands and began to sign, clumsy but earnest, their fingers forming careful shapes. "Can we join you?" One signed. "You look lonely," the other added, her timing slightly off but her meaning perfectly clear. Lily's heart cracked open. She knelt down in the snow, tears finally spilling over as she signed back, "Yes. I would like that very much." The girls beamed, as if they had just won something important. Their mother hurried over, apologizing out loud, but when she saw Lily signing with her daughters, her hand flew to her mouth. She explained, slowly and gently, that her husband was deaf, that the girls were growing up bilingual in sound and silence. Lily smiled wider than she had all night. They ended up walking together, the twins chattering in signs and giggles, pulling Lily into their world without hesitation or fear. For the first time that evening, Lily felt seen, not as a burden, not as a problem, but as a person worth sitting beside. If you think this is where the story ends, stay with me, because what happened next changed Lily's life forever. The next few days passed in a strange, warm blur. Lily couldn't stop thinking about the twins, their confidence, their kindness, the way they had approached her without pity or awkwardness. On Christmas Eve, as snow fell heavier and the city slowed into something softer, Lily received a message on her phone. It was from the twins' mother, Anna, inviting her to their home for Christmas dinner. Lily hesitated, old instincts whispering that she didn't belong, that she shouldn't intrude. But another voice, quieter and braver, reminded her of the twins' smiles, of how natural it had felt to sit with them. She accepted. Their house was filled with warmth, real warmth, not just from heaters, but from laughter, movement, connection. The twins ran to her the moment she arrived, signing excitedly about their tree, their presents, their dog. And then Lily met Mark, their father. He was standing by the doorway, watching her with gentle curiosity. He signed hello with ease, his movements calm and confident, his smile genuine. There was no awkward pause, no frustration, no sense that communication was a chore. For the first time in a long time, Lily didn't feel like she had to explain herself. They spent the evening talking in sign language, sharing stories about work, about childhood, about the strange ways the world treats people who don't fit neatly into expectations. Lily learned that Mark had lost his hearing as a teenager, that he had struggled deeply before finding peace in who he was. He listened, truly listened, to her, not just with his eyes, but with patience and respect. There was no rush, no judgment. Just understanding. After dinner, as the twins played on the floor and Anna stepped into the kitchen, Mark and Lily sat near the tree, lights reflecting softly in their eyes. Lily told him about the blind date, about the rejection, about how tired she was of feeling like love was something meant for other people. Mark didn't interrupt. When she finished, he signed slowly, carefully. Sometimes people walk away because they don't know how to see. That doesn't mean you aren't worth seeing. Something shifted inside her then. A belief she had carried for years, quiet, heavy, unquestioned, began to loosen its grip. She realized that the problem had never been her silence. It had been the unwillingness of others to listen in different ways. That night, as Lily walked home under the same Christmas lights that had felt so cruel days before, they seemed different. Softer, kinder. She understood that rejection had led her exactly where she needed to be, not to a perfect ending, not to instant romance, but to a reminder of her worth. The twins hadn't seen a deaf woman standing alone. They had seen someone who deserved company. And that simple act of courage, walking over, signing a question, had rewritten everything. So if you're watching this and you've ever felt overlooked, misunderstood, or left behind because you were different, remember this: the right people won't ask you to change who you are to be loved. Sometimes, love begins the moment someone chooses to meet you where you are, and sometimes, it takes the smallest hands to teach the biggest lesson.